ABC. By the way, is it recording?
Oh, just now.
Okay.
What, do you want me to stop? I can stop
No,
it.
don't stop recording. I just
I
can't
will edit,
say
though.
slurs.
What?
Whoa,
Yes, we should
that's
introduce-
bad.
I think
That's
we
a bad
should-
start. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
we-
what I
yeah,
said.
yeah.
I think we
The
should- we should
podcast
start from the
starts now.
beginning.
Okay, but you have to introduce. The,
Yes, because I normally do like a little spiel
Okay.
at the beginning.
Okay, let's do iCarly. In 3, 2.
Hello, everyone. This is the second episode of the FAV Podcast. If you missed our last one, we talked to Jack and Jack for live action. This one, we're going to talk about animation, and next one, we're going to do open media. So today, I'm here with Tem and Attila, senior in animation people. And I guess you guys can start off with what kind of animation you're into and how you got into that.
Hi, I'm Attila, the baddest bitch on the block.
No.
Yeah, but it's me. I do kind of more 3D work in terms of environmental 3D work, and also I draw 2D characters, animate 2D characters, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I do stuff. I animate. Yeah. How about you, Tubby?
With me, my love of animation came from Disney and Japanese animation, which is traditionally on paper.
Also, I don't even know how I got into this. I got into it because of classes in terms of 3D. Before I did not know how to do 3D.
You want to talk about your portfolio? Because your portfolio was very... I did not expect you to go into animation when we were in pod together, which is a Saturday high school art program.
Yes. Oh, because it's when I started off in art, I was just very traditional. I just painted and drawed. And I always knew I wanted to get into animation, but I knew I had to get into school first. So I was like, I'll first be good at foundational stuff, and then I'll do the other stuff.
I just didn't care about what I did in high school. I was very into graphic design. I just wanted to be an artist, and I leaned towards animation coming into RISD because I came into thinking, it's going to be the tablets and computers and like class after class about what Attila was mentioning. You need foundational stuff, but RISD does not really care about foundational animation. They just want you to do animation, which was an interesting way to approach it. It's like just pen to paper, sand to paper, cut out to paper, just animate.
Oh, yeah, that's such a good way to put it. Like, they just want you to do it. Like, they don't really, like, teach you, or you have to really teach yourself, which is interesting. But they don't really teach you. They'll give you the tools for you to teach, like to learn yourself, but you kind of, like, teach yourself. But they just want you to make, which is such an interesting thing. That's so true.
Yeah, because, for example, if you go to Cal Arts, the first class is like, okay, you guys, we know you guys are talented, but we have to see your talent. So we're going to take you to a life drawing class, and then after that life drawing class, we're going to teach you all the basics of animation. And after that class, we're going to teach you color theory and animation, and it's just they're packing your brain filled with all the basics. RISD, you come in, and they're like, do you like animation? Yeah. All right.
Do you like it that way, or do you wish it was more?
Well,
like,
I haven't
industry?
really gone through, the traditional animation teaching, so I don't know what I like, what I prefer, I should say. So, because I like being a RISD animator, I like the process, but I don't know if it's because I went through RISD or if it's just because they're good. Like, this way of teaching is good, if that makes any sense.
What do you think, Attila?
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think that's why I want to get my master's outside of RISD, because I feel like, and I'm going to go to a school that's more technical, because I feel like conceptually and thinking about animation as a art form and something that is meant to be very expressive and to bring life, I'm very thankful for RISD for that, because I feel like my thought of art is way different from before I came into RISD, and I feel like I wouldn't have got that anywhere else. But that being said, I kind of do want a little bit of technical backed up with that. So, yeah, I think that I do like the way that RISD approaches it. Yeah.
And that's not to say there's no technical training at RISD, because my sophomore year, I was scared that there's going to be no technical training, and then all of a sudden, you get this every semester you get this list of electives you can take, and it's all technical electives like character animation, character design, storyboarding, stuff like that.
What are you doing for your senior project?
Hey!
Okay, this is the fun part of the podcast.
Hey, dude. So when I was describing my project, I was trying to linking back to my childhood in terms of like I compared it to this, and this is kind of like going into my film, where ever since I was a kid, I loved Alice in Wonderland, and I love like stories like Alice in Wonderland, where it's like you are going into another world, and I think something I want my film to focus on is like the relationship between me, my mom, and my grandfather, through the spectrum of generations, but then also becoming my own person. But how are you? Tell me.
Well, to be honest, I don't have an idea. It's just, for me, I can't start a story until I know I'll enjoy animating it, which has caused me problems in the past because I start with a story, I figure out that I hate the characters in the world, and I can't animate in that world, so I have to change it last minute. And although I'm more passionate in that last minute change, it does stop me in terms of finishing. And I fear that if I don't figure it out soon, I'll be figure out an idea that I love soon, and that in the middle of winter, I'm going to look at the storyboards, the animation, all the frames I've done so far, and say, I don't like it. I don't want to continue. I want to change the story. And I know myself. I know that's very possible. So I'm trying my best to find a story that I can just, I don't know. It's all about, for me, it's all about appealing characters. I love animating characters that make me smile. I love goofiness. But at the same time, the stories I'm drawn to are dark and depressing. And trying to figure out a way to merge the absurdity and goofiness with very dark themes. And hopefully I can make a senior project out of it. But right now, I have nothing. And ask me again next week, I'll have nothing. But I'll probably animate, you know. I find that if I just start drawing landscapes, eventually I'll put a story to those landscapes. And then I'll draw characters, and then those characters will be animated, and all of a sudden I have a story.
That's great. Thanks for being honest. I think it's hard to stick with one idea. And I'm sure all your ideas that you have are all very good and very executable.
Hell no, they're not. What?
Oh, when we did that awful animation marathon, I will say, I'm not gonna lie, it helped me a lot because I thought that it was something where I was like, I had to pull up something. I had to make something.
You are not close to the mic.
Oh, I can't hear myself. But yeah, I think that that marathon helped me so much in terms of seeing that I'm capable of doing these things in a short amount of time, but just animating, even if it's not like 2 seconds or 30 seconds a day of just anything, or even it doesn't even have to relate to your film, just practicing that, as Amy says, like going to the gym. If you go to the gym every day, it feels weird when you don't do it. That was the best Amy impression. But yeah, I feel like that really does work, like working every day or putting like deadlines. And I feel like I felt it more when it was like, oh my gosh, this is my grade. Like if I don't do this, then I don't know what's gonna happen, but I just need to submit this. But it did feel good pumping stuff every day.
So just get going.
I think my only advice I don't know. I think you don't need to, but it's very helpful to figure out what you love about animation and what type of animation you're drawn to, so that you can quickly find your style and do a film do a story that utilizes the way you approach animation.
I feel like my advice would be similar to what I think Max told our class last semester, because Tem and I did animation and live action all of junior year, and you have to choose one for your senior year. And Max said, if you want to choose animation, you really, really, really have to love it, because it takes a lot, and it's not easy by any means, and you really have to enjoy that. And I was thinking, do I really enjoy animating, or do I just like watching it back?
That's a good point.
That's real, bro.
Because I was sitting at the Cintiq for so like hours and days, and I can do that for editing. Like I find myself really enjoying the editing process and sitting in front of a computer. What's the difference? I have no freaking clue, because it's the same thing. Like you're making a story, you're bringing something to life, you're putting things together. It's the same thing, but somehow I feel like I really enjoy editing, and I don't know if I can say the same thing about animation. Although I love animation, like I'm not leaving it behind. I think there's something magical about animation that you can't find in live action. But if you're on the fence, maybe think about the process. Which process do you enjoy more? And sometimes the product is more worth it than the process. I don't know. It's just one of those things where you just gotta, I don't know, you just gotta decide.
I think a good thought I have in my head, a good memory, is from last semester when everyone was in Market House, and then we were all submitting our films, and then it was just like a good moment where everyone was uploading everything, and then we were just together, just trying to make sure we have something for the show. That was such a beautiful experience, as being together. And I feel like with animation, people are crickets. You don't see them until class, bro. Like, be together. Friendship is magic.
When I'm on a set, I don't know, I'm always stressed out. I have to make sure the actors are on time, everyone behind the camera, on the lights are like, are you good? Are you tired? Please don't be tired. Do you have enough time? Are you gonna leave early? Please don't leave early. I really need to get this shot done. Sydney was my DP from my last live action project, and I was every hour I'm like, please Sydney, please, can you stay an extra hour? Please don't be tired. Can I borrow an extra lens? Please. It was very stressful, and I do love that stress. But with animation, I don't care about that stress. It's very once you find a style once you're drawn to a way of animating, it's very hypnotic. Maybe it's character movement, maybe it's motion graphics, maybe you're really drawn to stop motion. A lot of people think the 2D courses and the 3D courses at RISD are super boring, but the second they entered the stop motion course at RISD, they fell in love. They fell in love with fabrication. They fell in love with making sets, and it's just finding what made me choose animation was I fell in love with like the texture of the paper, hearing the sound of the pencil go back and forth, flipping through the frames. And when I realized, I could do that for 10 hours straight, because when you're making your junior project, it's all-nighters after all-nighters. And
it doesn't have to be that way, though.
It doesn't have to be, but everyone will say it doesn't have to be that way, but you will do it. So let's not even pretend. Just because it's an educational podcast doesn't mean we have to lie. You're going to do all-nighters.
Hey, I didn't.
It's just going to happen. Well, that's
because
you're the GOAT.
Attila, did you pull on it?
Yo, there was times where I didn't sleep for 2 days. The most awfulest thing ever. I will never pull it all day.
I didn't sleep for 2 days. I didn't shower for 2 days. I made sure I didn't smell bad. Sometimes I would be in class and I'd ask Attila to smell me, and he'd be like, "Oh no, you don't smell." And I'm like, "Are you just being nice?" But that's the kind of like the work ethic that I'm like, "Oh my God, do I even love this?" Until I go through it, I'm like, I could do that again and again and again and again, because it really is hypnotic. And I love seeing characters come to life.
Yo, so like during last semester, me and Tommy would sleep a lot in Market House.
Whoa.
Like sleep, like we'll take turns. Like someone stays up and does the work, and then some person will go to sleep, and we would sleep along the chairs. We would bring the chairs together and go to sleep, and we would do that, and then we would also like watch Wizards of Waverly Place.
Because when I animate, when I'm doing the final stretch for film, I start hating the actual process. which is contradictory to what I said before. So I need to be distracted with a television show specifically. It can't be a movie. I focus too much. It has to be a really cheap Disney television show. I've watched all of Big Time Rush doing animations at RISD. I've watched all of iCarly doing animations at RISD. And now, for senior year, I'm going to finish Wizards of Waverly Place.
Because it was good.
No, it wasn't.
But I mean, the CGI was trash. I don't know. That's the one thing though, because the CGI was so bad. Remember when they were turning into like little sea monsters? I was like, this is so awful, and we thought this was like the best thing as a child.
I knew it was ass.
With my little square TV,
the square TV does like hide all the imperfections.
And I was addicted to monsters. Oh my god.
I will never consume energy drinks to anime. I think that's unhealthy as hell.
Yeah, y'all don't do it because the way they keep you up, I will say they'll keep you up, but the way that I was the monsters. Oh my gosh. Yeah. God.
You want to do like director freelancing kind of your own work, or what's the dream?
Oh, you want to tell us? You want to tell the audience about our goal?
Yes, my goal, period, is getting an Oscar
before me specifically.
I will get an Oscar before fucking Tubby, and I know I will. I do want to become a director. I do want that for myself. I want to become a director, and I want to create something that's in my head and give it life. So that is the end goal. I don't see that happening for a very long time, but
I'll do it
enough where I do it before Tubby.
Make sure you submit to the student Oscars.
Oh yeah,
because if you win a student Oscar before me, that counts.
You know, I recently learned about that too. I think last semester.
A RISD student in 2020 won the student Oscar, and no one talks about it, which pisses me off.
I will get that student Oscar with this one. Watch, I'm a titty bounce my way through. And if y'all don't know what a titty bounce is,
no, stop.
If I was to invite anyone to the Oscars, right? I think I want to invite my mom because I think it would be funny seeing her interact in that space. Being like, Attila, look, Attila. Beyonce, right there, Beyonce. I would love to bring my mom into those types of spaces and see how she interacts, and I would just like die of laughter. But yeah, that's not going to say. Not going to say.
For me, I'm very aimless in terms of what to do after school, because there's so many different directions you can go. But what sucks about falling in love with the animation medium, specifically frame by frame 2D animation, is that in the States that's not possible. At least not the people who are doing it or have their job set, and they don't want more people to take their job. So it's like, okay, you can go into 3D animation. I don't like 3D animation. Okay, you can go into pre-production. I don't like pre-production. Okay, what do you like? I like 2D animation, and it sucks that it's very difficult to get a job in the States in 2D animation. There's a lot of indie productions, but those indie productions, you never know how long they'll last because, you know, money, capitalism, stuff like that. And I could move to, you know, France, Japan, Mexico, all like the current kings of 2D animation that are still pushing the medium forward. But I don't know. I'm more comfortable in the States. I've always wanted to go to Los Angeles or New York, but not being able to do what I love sucks. So it's more likely than not that I will just not do animation after school and just go into a career in live action with animation as kind of my background skill.
How about you, Cindy?
Oh, what I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I kind of left animation in the dust. But
if a Puerto Rican couple wants, you know, animation for their wedding video, would you not do it?
Oh, I would. Can I finish my question? Ton,
but I'm like, why do they have to be Puerto Rican? Like,
okay, what if a Dominican couple?
What is this question?
If a Dominican couple wants,
if a couple wants animation,
yes.
Anyway, so continue, Sydney. What were you saying?
What was I saying?
You were saying, I know you said you left. You don't want to continue animation, even though you're really good at it.
Yeah, I really love live action. I'm gonna see if I can try to do weddings and make documentaries. But if animation is part of that in some sort of way, I would do it. You know?
Yes, I feel like I don't know. A lot of Dominican couples,
Where are you getting this
a lot
from?
of Puerto Rican couples.
Anyway,
love
Cindy,
animation.
when I get married, I'll make sure I come to you.
Oh my gosh.
To
I
my
won't.
rich hoochie daddy.
I'll film my own wedding.
Huh?
I'll just film my own wedding, so I won't do that. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Cindy.
Okay.
You would actually do that, like you're at the party. You have the camera.
Like they teach
I wonder
you.
why Tim's not in his own wedding video. He's shooting it.
They teach us how to use cameras. Why would I not just get my own camera to film my own wedding?
Okay.
Oh yeah, valid.
This is really derailed.
Also, that sucks that you don't want me to film your wedding.
Me?
Yes, what the
Oh,
hell?
because you'll be a part of it, so you'll be too busy. I don't want you to working.
Aw.
And if you're working, please,
We're
you'll
getting
stress.
married? You can't profess your love for me on a podcast.
No, okay, listen. I'm saying like you'll be busy because I would want you to be a part of it in some type of way.
I'm gonna be your best man?
I didn't say all that.
All right. Oh, what's your brother's your best man? Fuck your brother.
My best man is Rocky. Period.
Rocky's a dog.
You can be the what's it? The ring. The ring person.
The child?
The flower girl.
Which is also a child.
Who said okay?
It's always a child.
Society says it's a kid, but
Society's right sometimes.
I don't want no kids at my wedding. It's gonna be grown folk.
What
only,
if-
that's
bruh.
valid.
What if your husband is pregnant?
What?
Okay. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for this conversation.
Well,
for
we're
this
done already?
space. I just want to say, like, animation has truly like changed my life. I remember, I guess the film that got me into animation was Ponyo,
Oh.
and
Sorry.
and I think particularly when I was watching it, and it was the first Ghibli film I ever watched. It was when my uncle died,
Oh.
and he got shot, and he was my age too, and so we were in my aunt's house, and we were eating African fufu, and then it was so fucking hot because it was the summer. I remember this so vividly, and then I was watching Ponyo, and then all my cousins were watching it as well, and I was like, this is so beautiful that during this hard moment that this medium is bringing us so much joy, and I want to do that for someone else. But yeah.
That's cute. Yeah, mine was How to Train Your Dragon. I loved that as a kid, so that's why I did animation. But that's cute.
Oh, how did you? That is like, oh. How about you, Tammy?
I don't know.
What?
I know what got me into art, but animation is a whole different
You don't have a
story.
favorite childhood animation?
That's different because the question was what got you into the idea of being
Okay.
an animator. And honestly, I think it was just seeing people on YouTube animate.
I don't know. You should have joined live action instead. Hot take.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Really?
I agree completely. Live action is a lot more fun than animation, but I wanted to. What it is? Because you've never touched an arty camera before.
Just for being in your sets, I'm like, I'm good.
No,
Just for being in your
Well,
sets, I'm good.
well, guess what? Guess what? You were in this. You're not gonna be in my script this year, but now you will. I'm gonna kill you immediately.
Because the way I was just felt like, oh my gosh, I'm tired. I was like, I can't even imagine being the director and being like, okay, this, that. No.
Well, it's easy when you have peers. You know, Sydney, Maya, Dwayne. Dwayne's Indian. It was just because it's gonna be cut out.
But even with that, like, it was still so stressful with the time. No, like that's why, like, Tammy scared me with live action. Maybe I will work in live action, maybe, but going.
You're
in
telling
that
me if
set-
I make an Oscar-nominated film, you're not gonna be
I
in my
would be,
next
of course,
film?
of course. I would definitely be in there. I'll be the co-director. So if you need me to get stuff for you, I would do that. But I just couldn't do something for myself, and I would go too insane.
Why in a million years would I make you the co-director of a film?
And that's the end of the show.
Okay.
Goodbye.
See y'all next time where we're gonna have open media kids, and hopefully I can find them.
Boring.
Good.
Oh,
It's like-
stop.
It's like Lizzie.
Tomorrow,
Yeah,
Lizzie's like the go-to.
that's true. I'll
I
ask them.
love you. Well, thank you, Sydney, for having me, and Tammy. I'm so grateful.
Don't
I
say
think.
my name.
Huh?
Go on.
Yeah, but I'm very grateful for this for this talk. It was really nice. I enjoyed it.
Oh, thanks. And hope you guys learned a lot and are inspired to go out there and animate. We'll see you in the next one.
Attila, why are you naked?
Oh my gosh.